So a war of words between the Congress and the BJP. Is the top leadership of the Congress in utter disarray after differences seemed apparent between Mr. Chidambaram and Mr. Pranab Mukherjee? Joining us to discuss this live and exclusive, the senior Congress leader, Digvijay Singh. Good evening, sir. Thanks very much for joining us. At a time when the UPA government is under pressure from the opposition and civil society groups, when two of the senior most functionaries of the government have differences on something as major as 2G spectrum allocation, what message is this sending out?
Well, first of all, there is no question of any differences between the two ministers. It's a media hype. The UPA government is functioning under the leadership of Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I think it's a cohesive unit. There is no such thing as any differences or a fight within the cabinet, because after all, the Prime Minister is first among the equals, and he has the confidence of both and all the cabinet ministers. So I think there is no problem on that.
But sir, you call it media hype. But let's just see what the opposition is saying. Now, Arun Jaitley says, and I'm quoting him, and this is a reference to the Prime Minister. Jaitley says he just can't delegate the responsibility to two ministers and abandon his responsibility, particularly when his own correspondent, with Sri A. Raja, reveals that he had a lurking suspicion that all was not well. So the question, sir, is where does the buck stop? We're talking about Pranab and and Chidambaram, but what about the Prime Minister?
Well, I am not privy to the information which Mr. Arun Jaitley may have. And further, the whole matter is being discussed threadbare in the Supreme Court. So it is sub judice. So let me not comment on the what is in this whole issue, who wrote to whom and who replied to whom. These are the issues which I really don't know, and I have not seen the document also. But as far as the UPA government is concerned, it is doing its task irrespective of what people may say, irrespective of what we may have to face. After all, in politics and in governance, these things do come up. So we have to take this issue, all these issues boldly and decisively.
But sir, you're saying all these issues, and there are so many of them, because it's not just 2G. If you look at things, there's petrol price hike, there's runaway inflation, interest rates, the entire controversy on the definition of poverty. So again, what is the message that people are getting? Because a lot of people now are saying that there is a fundamental problem of a lack of effective leadership in handling all of these issues.
There is no lack of effective leadership. First of all, today only the World Bank has released the financial report of the whole world. And they say double-digit inflation is taking place in other countries. So at least we are in a single digit as yet. Petroleum prices were deregulated in 2002 by the NDA government. We have not deregulated the diesel, kerosene and cooking gas. We have only deregulated petrol. So I think this is a worldwide phenomena. It's not confined to this country only.
All right. So you're saying that it's not entirely the fault of the UPA. But again, if one just looks at some of what the BJP is telling you, they say that, and it's not just the Congress, they say that the UPA government is increasingly at war with itself. It's not just these issues we talked about. It's at war with itself as the UPA. Even among ministers, there's distrust, let alone the party. The Congress does not even appear to be a coalition, because on the issue of price rise, coalition members have problems. On the issue of, say, Bangladesh, coalition members have problems. So how is this an effective coalition, a coalition at all?
Why doesn't NDA also look into its own allies? It started with in 1996 with the allies who are no longer with them. So this is a thing which happens in a coalition government. How many allies are with the BJP now, except JDU and Shiv Sena and Akali Dal? Where have the others gone?
So you're fair enough. You're questioning the NDA and its past and its alliances, members of the NDA itself. But in all of this, since we have been speaking about effective leadership, what about the role of Mrs. Gandhi, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi? What role has she had in trying to ensure that any differences between Chidambaram and Pranab Mukherjee, if indeed they do exist, will be tided over?
Let me put it very straight. the Congress president does not have a role in the functioning of the government. She is the leader of the UPA, chairman of the UPA. She is president of the Congress party. So she does not involve herself in day-to-day functioning on issues which concern the government. She has left the governance totally to the Prime Minister, and he is handling it.
But sir, you're downplaying this entire issue. You're saying that she won't be involved. But all of this, a lot of people would say, is bound to affect your chances in the next elections. UP has been an area of focus for the party. You've had a role in looking at the situation in UP as well, where the party is trying to revive itself. Isn't it inevitable that you're going to be struggling on the basis of all these issues?
What is a great sort of a groundswell you see in the media and around in Delhi is not there in the states. So I think the perception that the media or the people who stay in Delhi and don't move out of Delhi have got absolutely wrong perception. I have been touring all over and I don't see much of a reaction anywhere. Corruption is an issue which affects everyone. But then which other government has been more sincere and more strongly which has acted than this UP government against corruption? We have not spared anyone. We want a good, strong Lokpal bill to be brought in, and I think we will have a strong Lokpal bill in the Parliament, and the Standing Committee is a forum where everyone can go and present their case, even Mr. Anna's team, and also like Mrs. Aruna Roy or Harshmandar or any other civil society. Even the Dalits have raised an issue on the drafting of the Lokpal bill, and they should also get a hearing from the Standing Committee.
So we are running short on time, and I take the point about what the government is trying to do as far as Lokpal is concerned, what you now say that you're going to be doing. But sir, are you, and just focusing briefly on Gujarat, are you concerned on the emergence of a resurgent Narendra Modi in Gujarat looking to potentially have a bigger say at the centre?
We would be very happy if Mr. Narendra Modi comes to the central stage. Then we will ask Mr. Nitish Kumar, what do you have to say about it?
But sir, you aren't concerned at all?
We will fix Modi in the next election in Gujarat, in Assembly.
All right, never short of words there, Digvijay Singh. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, taking on all those questions on the state of the government at this stage. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Thanks.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.